Alright, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the Mirror Career Mode series. Today we will have only 2 games in this episode because we also have a new youth player, as you could read by the title, who we're gonna promote, and he's actually pretty interesting, and I kinda did a little bit of an experiment with him. And also obviously big news coming out from Millwall today. Ian Holloway is sacked, which is not much of a surprise to me really, because just look at the table really. With 10 games to go, they're 8 points behind the last spot that would keep them in the league. And it's just not looking good. The second to last, terrible goal difference, just an overall terrible record this season. I think it's a bit unfortunate for him I always find it very unfortunate when a manager gets sacked after only one season, not even a whole season. And I don't know, I'm not sure if Millwall can keep themselves in the league. It's going to be a big challenge. However, with 10 games to go, there's still 30 points to take, and you know, anything can happen really. Zivkovic picks up a goal, and probably one of the weirdest goals I've ever scored, really. Just look at that, I don't know. The ball just bounces around like 10 million times, and then he picks up one of the many rebounds, and he finds the back of the net there against Blackburn, a team that is doing even worse than Millwall is doing in real life. I mean, 8 points after how many games was it? I'm not quite sure anymore, but still only 8 points. That's absolutely ridiculous. I think they're already mathematically relegated. So anyways, that is obviously sure 3 points, should be sure 3 points for us, especially in our quest getting back to the Champions League, as we are right now 4th, and in a pretty good position, I must say. Zivkovic there missed a shot from outside the box, which would have been a pretty nice goal for him. Would have been the second of the day, and I think first one was his 12th goal of the season, as Danny Ings scores here, but is chalked off as he was indeed offside. And right there, if I would have passed the ball a bit earlier, that would have been a great chance for Danny Ings, as he made a very nice run, but I just couldn't see it early enough. And in the end, it's a 1-0 victory, not very convincingly in the result. It was still pretty solid, I must say. As you could see, Blackburn only had one chance, which was pretty huge to be honest, but other than that, our defense did not let anything past them, really. And now we're getting to the part with the youth player. Here's Danny Austin. Obviously right now, as you can see by the overall, he's not going to be very good right away. He's probably going to be like in the mid-50s or something, but his potential is 76 to 94, so even if he only reaches his minimum potential, he's still going to be a pretty decent player. So what I did was I actually signed him up right now, and I know what you're thinking. If I would have waited until May to call him up, then he would have had like a plus 10 boost in his starting overall. However, he would not progress in his physical stats, and since he is probably going to be like a right winger or right mid or something like that, I really want his physical stats to grow. So I decided to sign him up now, and then, you know, have his physical stats progressing. So I don't know, it's a bit of an experiment, I must say, as we are not going to take a look at a squad report. Not sure if there were that many changes. I know that John Stones, 79 overall, is now is a new thing, and Patrick Roberts now up to an 83 overall, plus 4 in the season. He's been growing like crazy ever since he has arrived. Sorry, I think when we got him, he was like a 72 overall, and that is just crazy progression by him. As we don't have him that long. It's I think his 3rd season now, if you count the first one where he was only there for half a year. So anyways, David Salk wanted to play for in this next game against QPR, but first let's actually take a look at Danny Austin. As you can see, he's a very mediocre player right now, but I believe that he can actually grow into possibly the 94 potential, which would be just amazing. And he could also play on the left wing and as a cam, and he's only 16 years old, so he's much room to grow. And yeah, back to Ian Holloway getting sacked. I've read a tweet from Docs earlier. You probably know Docs. He's a very big FIFA career mode YouTuber and also a Millwall fan, and he said he would have been confident that Ian Holloway would have gotten back to the championship in the next season. However, his false promises and his terrible record only justifies him being sacked, and also obviously it is a desperation move. I mean, Millwall does not have much to lose anymore, as probably most people see them already as relegated. And you know, a manager switch could always kind of spark the team. You pretty much see it all the time, really, when a team sacks their manager and gets a new one. I think, who is it? Neil Harris, I think, from the U20s. Is gonna take over. Something like that can always give a team a spark, and they could get possibly a good form now, getting a couple of wins together, strung together now, and you know, it is pretty much a short-term answer right now, obviously, because something like that spark from a manager switch can't keep going on forever, but it could help them right now with only 10 games to go. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you are a Millwall fan. And yeah, I'm sorry that I'm not talking much about the gameplay right now, but it is big news, and it was also, those two games were not very spectacular, were they? However, Julian Weigl here gets injured, looks like he's grabbing his shoulder, and he had to be subbed off. So that's obviously not very good news. Last season he also missed like the last 2 months or something because of an injury, and there Davy Salko with a nice header comes close to scoring the first goal of this game, and QPR then actually threw a couple of men forward, which was a bit surprising. I think they were 14th in the league, so you kind of think them playing away against the side that is currently 4th in the league, they would be happily taking the draw, but they were not. They were actually attacking in the last quarter of an hour, as Jordan Ibe gets a nice chance here, unfortunately misses just inches wide, which was very unfortunate. And then I decided to take off Zivkovic, bring on Nadia Chivchi, because oftentimes he's been a savior for us, or a game changer. Nadia Chivchi was this season, as Nadi almost with an absolute howler there. But in the end, even Nadia Chivchi couldn't do much for this game. The last chance would fall to QPR here, as we were passing the ball around, and it was just so frustrating because I just couldn't get it back. Lirafer with a nice shot there, but it hits Nadi's foot and he falls on top of it. We then try to get like a counter-attack going, but Chivchi gets his ball stolen by Jordan Mudge, as then Dominic Anderson gets it back from him. Looks like Jordan Mudge is injured, but unfortunately that pass to Chivchi didn't go through. That would have been a big chance right there. And now QPR with the actually last chance of the game. Lirafer whipping it in, but Castelletto heads it out, and it's in the end a 0-0 draw. So any positives to take from this game? I'm not sure really. I guess it's the second clean sheet in a row, which is pretty nice, but QPR could have easily scored a goal. It was kind of a weird game, as both teams could have essentially won this game 1-0, because both teams had pretty good chances. But anyways, that was the last game of this episode. We see that Julian Weigl is going to be out for 8 weeks, so that is pretty much the remainder of the season, and we have to replace him with Dele Ali. We could have put in Dominic Anderson there, but Dominic Anderson has been complaining a bit in the last couple of weeks, so I'm not sure if he wants to leave in the summer. So I'm gonna put in Dele Ali, also because he's a natural central defensive midfielder, and Dominic Anderson only has that as a second position. So Jack McNulty wanted a new contract. It was actually ridiculous. He was still on his £500 per week salary, which we gave him when we called him up. So right now he's a 72 overall, and only now he decides that, hey, maybe I could get a bit more money. So we gave him that. It was 15k per week. But anyways, that's it for this episode. Next time we're gonna have the replay game against Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, where we could potentially get into the semi-finals, so that's pretty interesting. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like if you did, it really helps my channel out. Subscribe for more Millwall and support the series. Tune in next time. See you guys then. Goodbye.